Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I will show you a tutorial how to properly inspect a vehicle before loading it onto the trailer. So we start off with our Super Dispatch app. You start pickup inspection, and this method that I will show you, it will give you 100 plus pictures. And keep in mind, the more pictures we have, the more we can protect you as a driver from a client who is claiming damage that were pre-existing. So you keep the camera at chest high, and as you're moving around, you're just taking snaps. So that there took me about 30-40 seconds to do a loop around the vehicle, and I already have 49 pictures. Then of course we take pictures of the hood, the windshield, and the roof. And it's very important to do another loop around the vehicle, but now instead of having the camera chest high, you bring it down lower to your waist. You can even twist it at an angle. Now you get the bottom of the vehicle. And you do the same thing, another loop around the vehicle. And just like that, we already have 114 pictures. That's all saved to this Super Dispatch app. And as we scroll up, we come across a actual inspection, which is extremely important to have. And this will help you argue the customer and explain that that certain damage was pre-existing. So let's start from this back corner here. So as you can tell, there's a crack in the tail light. There's a few light scratches here. There's some gouges here. A lot of times we assume that, oh, it's a light scratch, I don't have to mark it down. Yes, you do. If I was the client and the vehicle was brought to me with a light scratch, I'd probably open up a claim. So do everything you possibly can to protect yourself. Now, when I do mark these scratches here, I've noticed a lot of times that we just put S just for scratch. You want to mark this off as MS, multiple scratches. As we move a little further, we notice more scratches here, and keep in mind with the older vehicles, sometimes there's going to be a little bit more scratches than on the newer vehicle, but the more you have on here, the more you protect yourself. We have a damage here. And it's very important, don't be afraid to get down, look at the rims, get close, because sometimes that little rock chip can cost you thousands of dollars to get repaired. So as we get down here, we can see that there's visible damage here. There's scratches going alongside the bottom of the vehicle. If I was to be standing here, I cannot see it. So sometimes you have to get down to see all the details. And here we have a gouge. And a lot of times it is missed by our drivers because from this angle here, Once again, you can't see it. And one very important step that a lot of drivers do miss is the windshield. They assume, well, I don't see a crack, I don't see a big rock chip, what's the point? If you look at these two little rock chips here, and once again, if that client would have seen this little rock chip, he has every right to open up a claim, and you as a driver, you will be buying him a new windshield. Even though you might have not done it, but the fact that you did a poor inspection, you're liable for that. And if you find 2 or 3 little rock chips, obviously there's a little bit more. So instead of just putting 2 or 3 little rock chips, just put 5 or 6, because there's maybe a few that you may not see, but they're there. And if there's rock chips in the windshield, there should be rock chips in the front end here as well. Now for the front end, what we will do is we'll focus on this BMW, and the reason why I'll show you. A lot of times I've noticed drivers, during their inspection, they will rub their hand through the bumper and only focus on 1 or 2 scratches, and they only have 1 or 2 little scratches marked off. When you're running your hand and you find 2 or 3 or more, you mark the whole front bumper as MS, multiple scratches, because something like that will protect you. If I was the client and I only had two scratches marked off, and I would find another scratch here, I have every right to open up a claim against you. And as you can tell by this vehicle, there's quite a bit of rock chips in the bumper, in the hood. Then right away I assume that there's gonna be more on the windshield. So let's go walk back to the structure. And once again, guys, don't be afraid to touch the vehicle. Sometimes it could be just some dirt, so your fingers will be a little dirty, but that's okay. And another step that a lot of drivers do miss is dents. If you look at the vehicle at this angle here, you may not see the dent. One of the best advice I can give you is get in front of the vehicle, kneel down, and just move your body to the left, to the right, and your eyes will locate a dent or something that has a groove or whatever it may be. So this is the best way to locate these dents. Once again, get down, look for it. And guys, also very important, a lot of steps that we do miss during our inspection is taking pictures of the keys, the mat of keys. Sometimes you have a client that claims that he gave you 2 keys, but in reality you only have 1. You have a picture of just 1 key, you help yourself. Very important to take a picture of the VIN. This is required on all super dispatchers to have the VIN. If this isn't visible, there's also one in the door. And also, guys, extremely important to have the odometer. Of course, you mark it down in your notes, and at the same time have a picture of it as well. There has been situations where the customer claims that the vehicle now has a few hundred miles more than it did when it got picked up. So this is one way where you can protect yourself. We cannot do proper inspection due to rain, or if it's after hours and it's dark. So guys, the only reason why we are doing this is to show you a way as a driver where you can protect yourself from any client that may accuse you of causing a damage that was already pre-existing. Thank you guys.